Cars are a big deal. Over 115 million cars are used daily. And in those 115 million, there are tons of different brands, titles, names that are circulating all around us legitimately all the time. I mean, it's going to be a challenge to go a single day without seeing a single car out of your window, in your driveway, without driving one, without riding in one, without being hit by one, without being in contact with one. It's going to be literally almost impossible unless you're living out in a mountain range on a snowmobile, which even then you could maybe say it's a car. I don't think you can though. So today I want to rank every single car brand that is in the US from S to F, and hopefully declare what is best and what is worst. Now, let me just give you a little bit of a prerequisite here. I am not a mechanic, like at all. I'm going to be basing this off of my own personal experiences and preferences, so of course, this is all one big opinion. If you hate me, let me know in the comment section below. And of course, if you guys want to see any videos in particular, don't be afraid to let me know. Let's get into it. Now, here's the list we have here. We have a bunch of popular brands. These are supposedly what I could find that are sold in America, so if I'm missing any, I do apologize, but this is what I can remember. So, of course, you got the big dogs like Chevy, Ford, right? You got Dodge, you got GMC, right? BMW, Volkswagen. These are popular brands that are, around for a reason. They make good cars, so of course they're popular. Now, I'm not going to be rating the brands off of the individual cars. That's a little bit unfair. We can do a deeper dive into each of the brands later on if you guys want to see that. But for today, I'm basing it off of the brand as a whole. The highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows, which makes the brand. So, of course, starting off is Chevrolet, also known as Chevy if you're a little weird like me. Now, Chevy's a good brand. I personally love Chevys. Of course, you're going to have the Chevy versus Ford conflict. It's always going to be a big deal, right? The Ford guys hate the Chevy guys hate the Ford guys, and they both hate Dodge. I mean, it just is what it is. But I personally do love Chevys. So my first car was a 1998 Chevy Blazer. It wasn't fast, it wasn't cool, but I loved it. It was great, and it was a great vehicle. I had 300,000 miles on it. Didn't have any issues until one day the transmission pooped out on me. But it is what it is. Now, these Chevys are everywhere. You got the Silverado, got the Tahoe, got the Colorado, and I mean tons more, right? The Cruze, the Cobalts, everything. I mean, you know the cars on the streets. There's a giant chance when you walk outside, you're going to see a Chevy in the first 55 seconds of walking out there, at least in my experience. And while I'm sure there are cars with their issues, every brand has that. But for me, it's going to be an S tier. Also, a little sub note here. When I'm talking about a Chevy, I'm talking about the cars with the Chevy logo. I'm not talking about Corvettes or anything that's associated with it, but doesn't have the Chevy logo. If it doesn't have the Chevy logo, I ain't talking about it. All right, next up we got Ford, another giant company. It probably is the biggest company in the world right now. Ford is a good company. They got good, really good stuff. Right? They got the Mustangs, right? They got the Broncos. They got the F-150s, the big old diesel trucks. I don't know them very well, but you know what they are. They're usually red. All in all, I've never personally owned a Ford, but people still buy them for a reason. If they're that bad, people wouldn't buy them. So in my opinion, I mean, you got to give Ford S tier, right? You got to. Now, I also don't see Shelby on here. Whoopsie. Well, I'm going to put Shelby in with Ford because they have a lot of crossovers. Shelby would be S tier by itself anyways, but Shelby and Ford will go together. So when you see S tier for Ford, it's going to be for Shelby as well. So I do apologize. All right, now we got Honda, the first foreign car company on this list. Hondas are great. I love Hondas. You got the, Honda S2000 back in the Disney. You got more popular current cars like a Honda Pilot, Honda Accords, the Civics, right? Tons of great options. People love the Civics and the Accords. I like the new Accords. I think they're pretty sick. Obviously very comfortable, very affordable, and the gas mileage is, I think, pretty good on them as well. So, again, if you're asking me, I like Hondas. Never had an issue with a Honda. Me and Hondas go back in the day. So, S tier for Honda. So now we get Toyotas. Obviously, Toyotas is a big name, a household name. Everyone knows Toyotas, right? You got the Supras, you got the Celicas, you got the 4Runners, the Highlanders. You got literally everything anyone could imagine. Toyota also has the Prius, which, say what you want about the Prius, it's very affordable, okay? It's very affordable. And I think Toyota does everything really well. They have really reliable cars. I like the way they look. They have pretty good designs. I mean, the new Supra is a little argumentative, but everything else, in my opinion, looks really good. The 4Runners, those black on black 4Runners, look sick to me. I love them. And so as a company, I think Toyota, again, deserves an S tier. Maybe I'm getting too nice to some of these companies. Maybe I'm being too generous. The thing is, these are the big dogs for a reason. They're very smart. They're very good companies. And oh my gosh, here's the GOAT. Here's the GOAT right here. Now, I'm kind of stuck in a hard spot here because obviously I have a little bit of preference towards Nissan because I have a 350Z, right? I love Nissan with my entire heart. The new Z, I love it so much. I think it'd be so cool to go actually ride in one. It'd be amazing. However, they have a lot of terrible cars. Like, what the heck is the Nissan Leaf? Can someone explain that to me? Who thought, oh, Americans are gonna love this? What? So Nissan's really good. And they have a great history. The Datsun line, right? The old 240, 280, 260, 300 ZX, all those Zs carries the Nissan line, at least for me, in my opinion. And don't even mention the GTRs. I mean, the GTRs are pinnacles of JDM. Same with the Silvia. So, because of those old cars, in my opinion, the older cars are still carrying on the new generation. These new cars they're making, like the Rogue and the Pathfinder, are nice, but nobody wants them. They're not cool, all right? People will probably want them for comfortable living and kids and all that mumbo jumbo, but they're not fast. They're not a GTR. They're not a Z, right? Let's get back on track, but definitely an S tier. All right, now we get the Scion. The Scion, I'm going to be honest. I think Scions get a bad rep. I don't know why people don't like them. They do have some pretty neat cars. Not any that I would necessarily prefer to drive. They do have some that are cool to look at, and they do sound pretty cool sometimes. So Scion is, it's a good company. I'm going to give Scion a B tier. First B tier of the day. Doesn't mean you shouldn't buy a Scion. I don't know if they're reliable, but, I mean, just not ideal, at least in my books. All right, now we got Mazda. I'm not going to lie, guys. Mazda is S tier for sure. Mazdas are great. They're super reliable. They're fast, right? The RX-7, right? You got the Miatas, right? You have some really popular big hitters in there. And also like the CX-90s. Super good cars. I mean, and the new ones, I think, look pretty cool. So, yet again, S tier for sure. All right, now we get GMC. Now, GMC is also owned by GM Motors, which also owns Chevy. So, a lot of the GMC cars are very similar to the Chevy cars, like the Chevy Tahoe to the GMC Yukon. So, they kind of complement each other. I personally love GMCs. We had a Yukon growing up. I think they're always cool. I like the new Yukons a lot. They look really slick, really cool. Like, almost to like a point of a Cadillac. So, I like them a lot. I think GMC is a solid company. They don't really waste time on supercars. They only make good ones. And so, for that reason, S tier for GMC. Congrats, GMC, General Motor Company. All right, now we get Dodge. It used to be Dodge Ram, right? It used to be Ram, but now it's just Dodge. Fair enough. I like the rebrand. Now, Dodge is a good company, right? So, they own Jeep, right? Obviously, they own Dodge. So, a lot of good heavy hitters there. Expensive cars, good heavy hitters. You have stuff like the Hellcats, right? You get the Chargers, the Challengers, the Durangos, right? You got the diesel, the turbo diesel, Ram trucks. I can't remember the name of them. You have the new Dodge Stingers, which are interesting, I guess. And of course, the Jeeps, which we'll get there in a second. Now, Dodge is a cool company. I like the company a lot. And to me, the Chargers and Challengers alone make it want to be an S tier. Right, and the Durangos as well. I love the Durangos. And I just don't know any other negatives about the Dodges. They're all really reliable. They just are pretty expensive. So, I mean, you're paying for quality, at least in my experience. So, I mean, again, Dodge is S tier. I do feel kind of bad for Scion for leaving it down there in B tier by itself. But it's gonna get some company here soon. Okay, just wait for it. All right, now we get Jeep. Now, Jeeps are awesome. We can all agree that being able to take your doors off your Jeep is sick, really sick. But they're not reliable. They're not built very well. And, ladies and gentlemen, they're just not really good for anything other than being a Jeep. Are they fun for a weekend car? Heck yes. Take the doors off, take the top off, make it look cool, get a rubber ducky, and live your life to the fullest. But at the same time, I wouldn't personally buy a Jeep. I don't love them enough to buy one, but I love them enough to support them. You know what I mean? My dad has a Jeep. He's a big Jeep guy. And, of course, like if I love Dodge, you're going to kind of like Jeep. And, like, they have the 392 Jeep, a sick Jeep, a big old engine Jeep. Super cool. But they also have some of the Jeeps that are like the hybrids that can explode in your garage. There's giant recall on those right now. So, for me, I think Jeep is a B tier company as well. Not the worst. You can still buy a Jeep. You just gotta be careful. And I will say this about the Jeep community is it's one of the best communities out there in terms of cars. You know, you have the Jeep wave. Every person who has a Jeep waves at another person who has a Jeep. It's amazing. Super sick. I just wish our cars were a little bit better quality. Now we got the Cadillac. Now Cadillac's sick, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, of course they're expensive, but we're not worried about price. We're talking about the brand. So Cadillac just dropped the Cadillac Blackwing. that car is so freaking cool. It's a supercharged V8. I think it comes in a manual as well. Super sick car. I would love to see one of those in person. I mean, I've seen a couple. I want to go inside the car. One day maybe we'll be able to do that, but at the moment, I am in love with the Cadillac. And you also have the Escalade. Is it called the V-Class or something? It has another supercharged V8 inside of the Escalade. Super fast. It sounds amazing. Looks amazing. And Cadillac just makes really good cars. I mean, all their cars look super sick now. They look cool back in the day. They look cool now. So in my opinion, Cadillac is at least A. Definitely yes. Definitely yes. Okay, now we got Subaru. Subarus are cool. I like them. And especially depending on where you live, Subarus can be very clutch. Like if you live in Colorado or somewhere where it snows a lot, Subarus are really good. They're all-wheel drive. They have good engine. They have decent engines, and the cars themselves look pretty dang good, right? Like the WRXs, I think look sick. I think they look super cool. The BRZs look super cool. Now, Subaru's not the most reliable company in the world. I mean, you're trading off, right? I mean, it's all-wheel drive, but they're pretty good. And they're pretty good. I don't know enough about them to say for 100%, but I'm just gonna say this: I have dropped 2 transmissions for a Subaru. I don't like doing that, and so for that reason, it's getting an A tier. All right, now we got Kia. You know, Kia is one of those companies with really good highs, but a lot of low lows. Like, there's a lot of cool Kias out there, like the Stinger and what else? I don't know, actually. Kia's a good company, I think. I think they're getting a little bit better over time, but Kia's they're the company that you go to buy a cheaply made car. You buy a cheap car that'll work for you for a little bit, and then it'll break down, right? So to me, I don't love Kias. The Kia Stinger, again, is sick, but super unreliable, and their SUVs are getting better. I think their SUVs are their strong point now. They look cool. I wouldn't buy one for myself, though. So for that reason, I'm going to give Kia a C tier. You know, Kias are just not it. I'm sorry. They're just not it anymore. All right, now we got Hyundai. Now, the Hyundai Elantra N is a sick car, but that's the only one that comes to mind when someone mentions Elantras. Or sorry, Hyundais. And for that reason, I just think it's a pretty close cousin of the Kia. I don't know who owns Hyundai, but honestly, I could care less. They don't make great cars. Sorry, Hyundai. If we were rating it off of the car alone, the Hyundai N, the Elantra N would be an S tier for sure. I love that car. I think it's super cool. It's not. Sorry. All right, so now we got Infiniti. Now, the Infiniti is owned by Nissan, so a lot of the same cars there. I love Nissan. You gotta love Infiniti, right? It's a little cousin. So when you see a G35, it's the same thing as a 350Z or a G37 370Z. You get it? Either way, man, these Infinitis are getting kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie. The Q series, I believe they're on the Q now. Those cars look amazing, and I love the G series, right? I love all the VQ engines, right? When I see a G35, I treat him like he's my brother, the same I would if I saw a Z. It's my my distant kind of cousin. So it's really cool to see Infinitis out there on the road. I love them, and I think they're getting better every day, which is amazing. So for that, I'm gonna give them an S tier. And I'm realizing now this tier list is completely top heavy. So I apologize to anyone who's not in the S tier gang, but I think you guys can understand what I'm trying to get across here. All right, now we got Acuras. Now there are some super cool Acuras out there, right? So Acura goes back a long way as well, right? You get the Acura NSX back in the day, a really cool car, and they have really good SUVs. They have really good like kind of crossovers, and they have good comfortable sedan cars as well, like the A-Spec. I love that car. I would drive that car every day of my life. Acuras are sick. They're expensive, but they're sick. They're luxury. It makes sense. So, I mean, in my mind, Acura, that's an S tier. All right, now on to Lexus. Lexus is cool. Now, when I think of Lexus, I'm thinking of the Lexus LFA, and that's about it. I might be forgetting something, but the Lexus LFA is a sick, amazing car that I love. In my mind, Lexus is a good kind of bougie kind of SUV company, and for that, I think it does good. I mean, again, I just don't love Lexus that much. Lexus LFA, top of the tier list. It'd be up here on the top of the web page. But it's not. We're not talking about just the LFA. We're talking about the entire brand. So, for that reason, I'm gonna give it an A tier. Now we got Mercedes-Benz. Now, Mercedes has a lot of cool looking cars, a lot of amazing looking cars. Like the G-Wagon, right? G-Wagons are so cool. They're so sick. The G-Wagon, you got all the fast sports cars, the massive V8s, right? It's a good company. However, they're not really reliable, and they're very expensive. So, I don't know about buying a Mercedes. You know, it's a cool idea and partially a flex, right? You buy a Mercedes because you can. I don't know how reliable they are. I've heard bad things, but I don't know bad things. So I'm going to give Mercedes, I'm going to give it a A tier. B tier. I don't know. Or A tier. It's because, no, Mercedes is not as bad as a Scion. It's an A tier. It's an A tier. All right, now we're on to BMWs. Now, BMWs have a lot to offer. A lot of good, a lot of bad. We all know what we're talking about here. They have some amazing looking cars. The M5 series, right? The M4s. The old BMWs look sick today, and the new ones are really, really cool as well. They're very similar to they're very similar to the Mercedes-Benz in the fact that it's a flex. You buy a BMW because you can. And, you know, hey, more power to you if that's why you buy a car. I don't personally love BMWs. I think they're sick cars, and they're good ones like the M5s, the M4s, the fast ones. They're amazing. They're great. They're super powerful and fast as crap. But as a company, I don't like BMW very much. They're very picky with who can work on their cars, and you have to pay a lot to get your car repaired. A lot. So for that reason, I will give BMW a tier as well. It's the same kind of Mercedes BMW shindig, at least in my opinion. Now we got Audi. Now Audi is like a Mercedes and BMW, but I personally like Audi a little bit more. Now this is German engineering, much like the BMW. They all three are actually. I just love Audis. I don't know. They always look so good to me. They're fast. Are they reliable? Let me know if they're reliable. I don't know if they're reliable. I think they are. The Audi R8 is my dream car that I have had since I was like, you know, when I first saw one back on YouTube back in like 2012. The Audi R8 is so cool. It's a V10. It sounds amazing. I love the look of the Audi R8. So aggressive, so smooth, so elegant. I love it. And I also love like their sedan cars. I love their SUVs. Like I like everything about this company except for the reliability. I'm pretty sure they're not super reliable. And so, you know, it's hard to rank Mercedes or BMW higher than Audi because they're all really similar. They're all pretty similar. They all kind of offer the same thing. They all kind of have a supercar, SUV series, right? And sedan series. They're all kind of similar. And so I actually want to put Audi in S tier, even though some might not like that. I apologize if you don't. Audis are cool, and I love them. Now you got Volkswagen. This company is kind of ratchet. I'm not going to lie. The way that they kind of made their cars confuses the crap out of me. Changing your brakes, compressing your brake calipers, simple things like that. It is confusing because they just do it differently in Germany. Volkswagens are cool cars. I don't love them that much. So I'm going to actually give them a C tier. Sorry, Volkswagen. All right, now we're on to Chrysler. Now, Chrysler is also owned by Dodge, so that's a part of that umbrella. But I'm going to be honest, I don't love Chryslers that much. They have the vans and those Chrysler sedans. I can't remember the name right now. The Chrysler sedans are the most confusing thing ever because you don't know if they're a V6 or a V8. There's no badging to tell you what they are. I mean, obviously, if you have a Chrysler, you don't care, right? You're just there to ride around. It's comfortable. It's nice. Kind of like a Lincoln. But I'm going to be honest, I have never been a big fan of Chryslers. The sedans are cool, but everything else they make doesn't interest me personally. So I'm not gonna give it a D tier, but I'll definitely give it a C tier for sure. I know I got Lincolns, so I don't know. The old Lincoln Town cars are cool. My grandpa has one. It's very comfortable and it's very fast. However, I've never loved Lincolns. I think Lincolns are kind of overrated. They're good for old people, but I'm not old. So maybe when I get old, I'll buy a Lincoln. When I'm young, I'm not gonna buy a Lincoln. That's just where I'm at. So D tier for me. All right, now we got Tesla. Tesla is a new company, a newer-ish company, and they make all electric cars. And these cars are sick. They're very good. They're very fast. They're very, very fast. Some of them have like 1,200 horsepower. They're so fast. But ladies and gentlemen, I just don't like electric cars. I don't like the feeling of getting in a car and not having that raw power, having an engine running in the front, the gas coming out the back, the noise, the rumble, the experience you have when driving a car. Because it's more than just going forward in a straight line. It's the experience of driving a car, of shifting the gears in the car, of accelerating in that car and feeling the power that has been built by a man or woman, whoever, has been built by mankind. That's a better way to phrase it. So to me, Teslas are cool, but I'm not going to own a Tesla. I don't want someone to be able to turn off my car when they say so. So Tesla, you're doing good. I respect it. You're in D tier. Now we got I can't. Is this Volvo? No, that's Volvo. What is this? Polestar. Okay, now we got Polestar, which I honestly don't know enough about to accurately rank, so I'm going to put it in the ranking tier. I do believe they go a lot hand in hand, with Volvo, I think, but I don't know 100%, so I'm not going to rank it. If you own this brand of a car, I don't know. I'm sorry. I like Volvos. I think the Volvos it's an acquired taste. They make cars that definitely people don't like a lot of time. They're like kind of like power station wagon type things. They're definitely, yeah, again, an acquired taste. I do like them a little bit, but I'm not crazy about them, so I'm gonna give it a B tier. All right, now I got Suzuki. Now I don't know if I've even seen a Suzuki in person. They make motorcycles, right? So I don't know enough about Suzuki, so B tier or blue tier for Suzukis as well. Now we got Porsches, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh, I'm a Porsche guy myself. I love Porsche. The GT3, the GT2, the GT, is there a GT1 or is it GT? Whatever it's called, I love them. The GT3 RS is my dream car that I will have one day. I love the old 911s. I love the wide body kits you can put on them. I think they're super cool. It's a super cool company, a rich history, and amazing cars. So, S tier for you. Now we got Lamborghini. Now I actually got to see a Lamborghini recently. I posted a short of my reaction on Rev Life, and I'm just gonna be honest, I don't know how to act when I see Lamborghinis or any cars that are like higher status cars. I just kind of freak out. I kind of freeze up. I kind of die. I love Lamborghinis, the SVJs, right? The Diablos, right? You got the Countaches, right? You got the Huracans, the Aventadors. All such cool cars. How can you not put a Lamborghini in S tier? Obviously, I don't know crap about how good they run because I'm never gonna own one. But as of right now, I like them a lot. I got Rolls Royce. Hot take, they're overrated. B tier. Sorry. Bugatti. How can you not put Bugatti at S tier, right? You got the Chiron, the Veyron, right? Dude, the Devo. These are sick cars. And the Chiron has quad turbos, if I'm not mistaken. They're amazing cars. Stradman, please hit me up. All right, now we got Maserati. Now, Maseratis are cool. I don't know, I don't know. They have one really cool race car, but I don't know. They're just not hitting it for me. They're not hitting it for me. So, Maserati, you're going to B tier. I got Alfa Romeo. Now, I like Alfa Romeos. People don't like them a lot of the time. I personally like them. I think some of them are very cool. Some of them are very ugly, but some of them are very cool. So, yeah, I think Alfa Romeo deserves an A tier. I think so, yeah, for sure. Now we got Bentleys. Now, the Bentley Continental is a sick car. I think it's super cool, and the idea was definitely there. And I saw one of these very recently at a car dealership. Had to pull over and look at it. Bentleys are cool. They're just a flex. You buy a Bentley to flex. So I just don't like them. I don't like that. B tier. All right, now I got Fiat. Easiest tier for me. You're D tier. Those things are hideous. Don't drive a Fiat, please. Mini Coopers. I get what you're going after. Mini Coopers are cool, but it's kind of a one-trick wonder. C tier. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's actually it. That's the entire completed tier list. So, quick recap for you. Here's the S tier. These are going to be cars car brands that I distinctly love. I love the history. I love the cars they make. They're pretty good. They have pretty good names, right? They got pretty good morale. Everyone likes these cars for the most part. We got A tier again. Very solid car choices. These ones are just kind of expensive, kind of over budgeted, kind of overhyped in my opinion, but still good cars, right? I love A tier. All love in the world of A tier. Love you guys. B tier, these are the cars that are kind of getting closer to like being kind of mid, right? They're not super good, not super bad. They're good. I mean, they're cars. You know what I mean? They're just cars. C tier, we got cars that I wouldn't really 100% agree with someone buying, but I wouldn't be against it. Like, okay, you bought a Volkswagen. That's nice. Cool. Good for you. 100%. But I wouldn't be like, you're stupid for buying this car. I don't know enough about them. I don't really like them. Don't really hate them. Leaning more towards the side of me hating them. D tier, you're getting pretty close to me hating you. I'm not going to lie. Not Lincoln. Lincoln, I hate it because it's not a car for me right now. Eventually, I love Lincolns. Right now, not a car for me. Tesla and Fiat, whatever you want to say, however you want to call it, they're boring and tiny. I like big cars, fast cars, yummy cars. Rum rum. And then, obviously, Suzuki and Polestar. Just don't know enough about them, so we're not going to rate them. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying with me. If you're still here, thank you so much. I appreciate you and all your time you spent with me. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you guys all enjoyed. If you guys want to see more like this, let me know in the comment section below. And hopefully, we can get some more videos like this out in the future. Keep your eyes peeled. If you want to see more car content, head over to my other channel, Rev Life, link in the description, which you can watch all of my videos I've put on there. I got, a history of cars on there. I've got a few in-person videos, and I have a video coming out tomorrow. It's going to take a lot of time to edit, and it'll be high quality, like everything like that. So, again, if you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, like, you know what to do. Thank you all for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and stay safe. Bye-bye.